So, since the eShop closed down a couple of months ago at this point, I was left with nothing to buy on both the Wii U and the 3DS that I hadn't already bought. But the problem there was that I still had $10 left on my account, and I was still unable to buy anything because the eShop had closed down. So there's just $10 stuck on one account. And today what I'm going to do is explain the story of what went on of me trying to get back that $10 over back to me instead of just being useless on the account. Because it was a whole ordeal. And this is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to, but if you would, join me for a little bit of story time. I started by looking up how to transfer money between the Wii U to the Switch because I figured that'd be easiest, and that's where my money was. It was on the Switch, or the Wii U. And as it turns out, Nintendo had put out a small helpful guide to do just that, because I guess a lot of people have been asking. So I followed the instructions, logging onto my account on mobile because that was an option, and then all I had to do was press a button saying merge funds, so that the money from my Wii U and 3DS would be shared with my Switch account, meaning I could use the leftover money for whatever I wanted on the Switch instead of it just being over on the Wii U. But when I did it, it only showed that there was 33 cents transferred, which was really weird because I could see the $10 and some change being put up on the Wii U. So I knew it wasn't just 33 cents. And after a bit of racking my brain, I realized that it had only merged the funds from my 3DS, because the 3DS I did actually spend most of my money. Not all of it because, change. But I still had 33 cents left that was merged. I figured the reason it hadn't transferred the ones from the Wii U was just simply because I didn't link my Wii U account to my other account. So moving forward, I try to log on to my account, but find that I can't. I had forgotten the password, so whoops. So I have to go through the whole process of logging back in by getting a temporary password via an email, which strangely enough, the account was linked to my dad's email, so I had to get the password from him. Nonetheless, I get the password and log into the account on the Wii U and attempt to log in the account with my overarching account. But to my surprise, it wouldn't let me. It told me there was an account already linked to it, which didn't make much sense to me. Could you only link either the 3DS or the Wii U to your mobile account? So I try to use my brain a little bit and some internet searches, and it finally hit me. My Wii U account was different from my 3DS and Switch account. That's why it wasn't letting me do any sort of linking. My first clue that this was what was going on was the fact that my account was still linked to my dad's email and not mine. And it also explained why I couldn't remember my password. Still, after realizing what was going on and getting a little frustrated, I began putting the account I used from the Switch onto the Wii U to maybe get my old account's funds moved across if they're on the same console. But after going through that whole ordeal of getting the account swapped, I wasn't able to find a way to transfer the money across accounts. Not even to merge funds like I was able to do with the Switches and the 3DS and Wii U stuff. I was getting really frustrated about that point because it had been around 30 minutes and I still was no closer to getting my $10. Then, of course, the more obvious idea that I hadn't thought of popped in my brain, to take the old account and move it over to the Switch. I had to create a new profile to attach the old account to because you can't have two accounts linked to the same profile. But after creating an entirely new profile and getting the old account onto that new profile, I was finally able to just simply press the merge funds button, and this time, miraculously, it worked. And I had $10 to use on the Switch instead of being just sitting uselessly on the Wii U. The one small problem was that there was no way to transfer the money across profiles, so the $10 was still isolated. Unless I added more to that specific account, it wouldn't be combined with my other account. But still, that would left me in a much better place than having it useless, as I keep harping on at this point. But after 40 minutes of hard work in trying to figure out how to move just $10 across accounts, I finally got it. Was it worth it? Well, yeah, because doing some quick math, getting $10 over the course of 40 minutes would be the equivalent of a $15 an hour job, which is higher than both federal minimum wage and my home state minimum wage of $11 an hour. So after that whole ordeal, what do I spend my money on? Well, Hollow Knight for one thing, but then another game, which I think I might make a video on later in the future because wow. But yeah, that was that was how I got $10 across accounts. I hope you enjoyed that. I don't really know what that was. This was originally going to be part of a different video, but I just kept writing about this story of me trying to get my money across accounts because I felt like it was important for context of why the video existed. I'll keep it vague for now, but you'll see what I mean when the video comes out. But I just kept writing and writing about it and realized there was a whole ordeal to it. And it didn't really feel right to have like a 4 or 5 minute video or however long this is going to be just at the beginning of a video that's completely unrelated to this story. So I decided to just separate it entirely and put it on its own video. A little story time, if you will. I'm not this kind of person, but you know what? We got it. We got story time. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoy and keep an eye out for that new video that I very briefly mentioned at the end of this video. See you later. Bye.